Well, Coach, first official day of practice. How would you say it went?
It was good. It was really good. You know, the way the rules are now, we've been in the gym some. You know, we were around a lot this summer and had our guys in there, and then thought we had some great short workouts leading up to this point. So wasn't surprised, but yeah, it had a little different feel to it. We're trying to work on a lot more things on the defensive end right now. We spent a lot of time this summer and early on in these fall workouts working on offensive concepts and spacing and moving the basketball, and big emphasis today defensively.
Getting them all out on the court like this, did you see from the defensive perspective kind of wanting to be faster and more athletic and trapping like you talked about?
Well, it's really putting in the base right now, so we haven't gotten into that much, but our commitment and our athleticism, our depth, all that stuff is pretty noticeable right now. You know, you look out there, we've got some bigger guys in the paint, we've got some longer perimeter guys, so really liked what we did. We'll put in a base and start building from there. Haven't done much trapping at this point.
How much of an advantage was it over the summer to have that extra time? It was like 4 hours a week instead of 2, right?
Yeah, we've had that. It's not the first year of that, but we liked what we did with the time this summer. Again, all of our players, with the exception of Eric, were here at some point. A lot of them were here for 8 or 10 weeks. So gives us just such a good starting point going into the first official day of practice. It didn't really feel like day one. Even though we wanted the energy level, the excitement level to feel like the first day of practice. We've been in there a lot together.
What are the expectations for Javon and Keaton now as they kind of emerge from, hey, these were great volume scorers, to trying to take over as leaders of the team?
Yeah, that's those guys have done so much for this program. Been key guys from the second they stepped on campus. Their roles will be similar in terms of we need their scoring. You know, we need them to make shots for us and create shots. But now, yeah, it's time. They're upperclassmen now, and great opportunity for them to step up and provide that leadership. And they've been very conscious of it. It's been very noticeable. You know, Keaton's a very, very quiet guy, but he's trying to exert himself and talk more in the huddles and help lead the team. And then Javon's been really good just with his consistency in practice, bringing good energy every day. So like what those two are doing, they recognize areas that they can help this team even more than just the scoring.
How quickly are the new players getting integrated in what you want to do?
Well, they don't have any choice. You know, with as many returners as we have, we just throw them into the fire, and they're doing a good job with it. It's a nice mix with so many returners and then 6 new guys counting Knox. You know, he was here but didn't play. So I like what they're doing. We have to be real conscious that we have such a mix. So we'll go as fast as we can without feeling like we're overlooking anything.
You guys have the leadership to try to bring them along or to make that work the
What's
way
that?
it needs to? Just for the new guys getting settled in, are the certain players leading, helping them along, making them feel more comfortable?
Well, I think all of our veteran guys, you know, Tim had a really good summer, you know, and being one of our seniors, he's got some really good leadership qualities, and I think you're going to see more of those from him. Again, Keaton and Javon, because they play such a significant role for us, we need them to continue to work on that. Byron's our other senior, but he's been out with an ankle injury here for a couple weeks, so it's a little harder for him to chime in during practice when he's over on the side. But I think we got enough guys that are comfortable doing it.
How long do you think Byron's going to be out for you guys?
Yeah, we're going to be fairly cautious just because we don't want this to be something that lingers. You know, he jumped out there today and looked pretty good before we got into any of the contact portion of practice. And, so I think he's coming along pretty well. Don't have a real time frame on it. Just want him to feel really good so that, you know, once he does come out, that he's not going to be dragging on with it.
Jacob Germany looks pretty athletic out there as a true freshman. You expect him to see some time early on?
Jacob's a special talent. He really is. He's a very gifted guy. I mean, he's legit 6'10", 6'11", runs like a deer, very coordinated, very agile. Good instincts, you know, and so our challenge with him right now is just getting him to bend his knees. He's already getting tired of hearing me say that to him. Bend his knees, play harder, just go, just relentless energy. Because if he does those things, he'll really contribute for us. He's a guy in time that will be able to do a little bit of everything with his skill set. But right now, the challenge for him is to just fly around, and block shots, and run, and use the gifts that he has.
How does the talent on this roster compare to the other teams you've coached since you've been here?
Well, we're really excited about this group in terms of overall talent, overall depth. We're very versatile. You know, we've got so many guys that can play on the front line now. You know, our guard core is really deep. So, you know, got 12 scholarship guys right now that all think they're going to play huge roles, and so I think our practices will be better. Certainly the depth. Early on, everybody feels good about their depth, so we have to stay healthy and hope that stays the case. But our practices right now will be very, very competitive. We can go even teams and have two pretty good teams.
It's just kind of finding a role for everybody, the biggest challenge to having the best possible team you can.
Yeah, that'll be a big key. Guys figuring it out. Figuring out which combinations work well together. Again, with all of our front line guys, they all bring a little bit something different to the table, so we can throw in some different options there. I'm excited to figure some things out. It'll be fun trying to put the best combinations out there and figuring out what each group does best. I think we can put a real athletic lineup out there and do more trapping defensively. I think we can put a really, really skilled lineup out there and have 5 guys on the floor that can shoot the basketball. So it should be fun.
Steve, you announced your schedule last week. What are some of the challenges in putting together that non-conference schedule?
Yeah, there's so much goes into scheduling. There's obviously a financial component to it, which is kind of where you start at. Trying to give our guys some fun experiences. You look at the Utah State game. I mean, that's a team that could probably be picked to win the Mountain West, and they have one of the best environments in college basketball. That'd be a great trip for our guys. It'd be a tough game for us, no question about that. But we like going into some of those hostile environments like that to get to play, big name schools, to play some Pac-12 and Big 12 opponents is really, really good. For us to get that game against Oregon State in Houston will be it was a nice way to kind of finish up the schedule. That was the part we were waiting on before we could release it. A lot went into that because it's a 3-game event, but it's good for us. So all in all, we felt good about it. Our guys can get a little bit of a Christmas break, come back, play 1 game prior to league play, which we did last year. We liked the way that lined up. So it took a while. Some people were certainly some of the people that we were talking to about playing were conscious of the talent that we have, and that made it a little bit of a challenge, and it made it drag on deeper into the summer than we wanted to. But in the end, when it was finally done, I felt pretty good about it.
I think there's going to be a lot of excitement with this team, with the talent you guys have. Is there any effort that you have to make to manage expectations to keep everybody?
Well, yes and no. We talked to our guys a long time ago. We want people to have expectations for us. I mean, people don't have expectations unless you've got some potential, and with that might come a little bit of pressure, but that's okay. Ultimately, the guys have to understand that it's a really, really fine line. We're good enough to compete for a championship. We're good enough to finish middle of the pack or bottom half if we're not really locked in and unselfish and work on our chemistry, work on our culture. Those are things we don't take for granted.